Okay, so today I would like to talk about my experience with heat pump, and to be exact, about my experience with heat pump in 2025. That was first full year since I've got it. I installed a heat pump with Octopus on, I think it was May 2024, so it's almost 2 years ago. 2025 was full year, so let's go from beginning. My gas boiler was failing in the house that I bought, and I checked with the installers how much it would cost me to get this gas boiler sorted. I already fixed it once or twice on my own. The last installer that came said he won't fix it because it's something wrong over there. I think vent was going to the wrong wall, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, and he was trying to sell me a gas boiler, right, new gas boiler. So I told him I want only to fix it. It was beginning of the winter. I want only to fix it because I've got already date to install heat pump. So what he said was, you know what, you're gonna pay even more with heat pump that you pay now. I said, you know, obviously you're gonna say this because you are, you know, related to gas works, right? Heat pumps are taking away your jobs and giving to electricians or whatever, you know, plumbers. And he said, oh yeah, do whatever you want, right? But he wouldn't fix my boiler, right? Fucking half of the November. Okay, not cool. Okay, not cool. But you know, I'm handy with tools, and I decided, yeah, I'm going for it. I will check how much. You know, I will check how to fix it. And I found on YouTube video how exactly to fix that boiler and this problem. So basically, it was 10 minutes fix. Something with fan on the top, and boiler wasn't starting because of that. Never mind. Anyways, he told me 3.5 grand to get new gas boiler, and I went with heat pump because the government just raised the money, you know, the grant for heat pumps from 5 to 7.5 grand. I was thinking about this before because I knew that boiler is failing. So okay, I decided for the heat pump, right? They install it, and for the heat pump I paid over the 7.5 grand. I paid £1,300, so not much at all, like a third or almost third, bit more than third of the price of new boiler. And I decided, yeah, I'm going with this, right? It's 10 years warranty, something like crazy like that. The only thing I didn't suspect at this point when I was deciding, when I was paying in the deposit, that it will take so long to fit it. It was, I think, 4.5 days. So I took a week of work. They might told me just right on beginning about this. Never mind, I didn't recollect this. So I took the day off work. I was just sitting at home. The workers are walking around, right, replacing. They decided they need to replace 5 from 7 you know, the heating units. I don't remember the word. Well, anyway, everything was in price. All I had to pay over was £1,300, so it wasn't much. Craftsmanship probably could be better. There are some places that, you know, something's on an angle, but I work on sites on my own as well, so that's why I look so rough today. Actually, I'm on break on site, so I might look a little bit more, you know, on stuff like that than normal person, let's call it. Yeah, so overall I'm happy. On their work there was 2 years warranty, so it will end now in May, I think. Yeah. In this time they had to replace not something from heat pump, but valve, one of the valves. Well, the only valve that is over there in the system, in my airing cupboard, where they put this new cylinder for heating water, immersion heater. So yeah, that valve had to be replaced. It's been fixed, then it failed again, and then they replaced it, obviously without any cost. But that warranty will end now, so if it will happen again, I probably will do it on my own, because I work with pipes anyway. I'm welding pipes, so I probably will know how to do it. I will order in my company the valve. I will probably order cheaper than they would offer me. So anyways, that's how it looked. Heat pump itself, amazing, everything's working. A little bit of learning curve with how to set it up, the temperatures and all of that. Yeah, and yeah, so there was some setting up with that, but just on beginning. Now it's working perfectly fine. The thermostat is set up on 21 degrees. That's important, because from that it depends the savings, right, or lack of savings. So let's go to this. I decided to cut off gas completely from my home. Yeah, so I have no gas now at all. Then obviously for that, for cooking, we had to buy an induction hob. So I connected the induction hob. So everything at home is electric, plus I've got EV and a charger for this EV. So my bills are, I pay by direct debit. Yeah, I paid £150 a month. I don't have exact amounts just for the heating, just for the heat pump heating and hot water, but I've got sorry, I've seen mate. Lost my train of thoughts. Yeah, so what I know is exactly how much energy went for the heat pump in 2025. It was because from the app, from the heat pump, it doesn't involve how much money I spent, because my tariff was changing on the go. On beginning I had agile tariff, which had like 3 different slots, when it was like for the heat pump. Then I installed the car charger, and it was more beneficial to install the to change the tariff on intelligent Octopus Go. So I did that. So the tariff was changing. The rates are not the same all day, so I can't really say how much I paid exactly for that. What can I say is it was 2613 kilowatt hours in 2025. I paid around £1,800 for 6,700 kilowatt hours. So like a third of my energy was just heat pump. Yeah, so heating plus hot water. 2,000 was for the car, and 2,100 left over was just general everything else at home. Yeah, like air fryer, 3 times a day, stuff like that. Big fridge, we have American fridge, double doors, so that takes a lot of energy as well. So yeah, all of that costs me around £150 a month. I pay on average overpay right throughout the summer, so it stays like overpaid for the winter, and then and it takes from it when it needs. I just want to say, before with gas my bills were around £350. Now they are £150 for the car, for heating, for hot water, and for full house working just on electricity. So I would say, yeah, that was a good move. And the only thing, the gas was very expensive when I was changing all of that, because it was after the start of war in Ukraine. You know, the gas prices went crazy high. My biggest bills were like in the winter, I think for the gas, the biggest bill was 280 quid a month, so it was quite a lot. Yeah, plus like 100 for electricity, and obviously in summer it goes down, but same now with electricity, it goes down because heat pump doesn't take the energy. The only thing I did additionally, yeah, I put more insulation in my loft. I will add a little bit more about this this loft insulation. So I knew that for the heat pump there will be surveyor from Octopus checking heat efficiency of my home. The home is around 20 years old. It was then around 20 years old. Now it's around 25 years old. Like now it's 25. It was 22 or something like that. And yeah, so I was looking for a way to cheaply kind of make it more energy efficient. The guy came with a thermal camera, checking on windows, you know, where are the leakage and everything, what are the temperatures and all of that. And I decided I will go, that's the cheapest I could make, is insulation in the loft. I had over there like 25 centimeters. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, bought the 4 or 5 rolls of the insulation on my own, check on the internet how to, you know, put it on in the loft. It's basically when one line is like that, right? Yeah, all of it put like that, then the other has to be this way, and around the edges there has to be spacing for the you know, airflow, so there is no condensation in the loft. And after I put this insulation, it gets straight away warmer at home, which is great, right? So I knew straight away that it will work, and I did it because if the surveyor would see that there is a like house is not enough energy efficient, he would offer, for example, to do this right in the loft, and then Octopus would do it, and it would probably cost me not 100 quid that I paid just for the insulation, for this insulation that I put over there, but it would cost me like another, I don't know, 500, 700 that employees would take, right, to do it over there. So yeah, I decided that would go over this 7.5 grand that was there, and you know, I knew I will save this way, and also I found a way to make house more efficient. Why not, right? Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. If you think about it, £150 a month, 7,600 kilowatt hours, minus 2,000 for a car, minus 2,100 for the home, for the normal home usage like lights and all of that, and so it's 2,100 left, 2,600, sorry, left for just the heat pump. It's hard to say because the car was charged always in the cheapest rates, but the heat pump at night heats the water, heats the house. Well, however, at night I've got it set a little bit lower so it doesn't heat the house that much. I think it's 18 degrees now. I'm not entirely sure, 18 or 17 degrees at night, 17, yeah, and 21 throughout the day. You can make all the schedule in the app for the phone. It's Daikin as well, so good heat pump. And yeah, and so the heat pump was using all of this as well, but I would estimate that half of the bills roughly should be just for the heat pump, so it will be 75 quid a month, but that's my rough estimate. 75 quid a month, I think it will be for the heating of water and heating of the house, and average, right? So it will be much less in the summer, much more in the winter, right? Because obviously when it needs heating. Yeah, I hope that helps someone. Yeah, thanks.